English. Again, when I say Indians, we have a huge gap. There are some students in Patna, Delhi, Mumbai, in every city. They never need a course to learn to speak English. They never need to make any special effort to speak English. For them, speaking English is like speaking a second language that they learned at school. They do not need any outside classes, extra classes outside their school. You'll find those people on TV all the time, having debates in English, having wonderful English, fluent English, right? Speaking in an Indian accent. We were not those lucky ones. We could not go to those schools where we could just learn to speak English. And majority of Indians do not have access to such good schools because those schools are few, very few. And so what option do we have? Every teacher who is teaching tense, who is teaching voice, speaking Hindi in the class, has millions of subscribers on YouTube. Their videos get millions of views. People watch those videos with the hope that they're going to learn. Everybody wants to learn to speak English. Whether you join a translation class in class 7th or 8th, your ultimate hope and goal is one day you'll talk in English. You guys can look inside and check what I'm saying is right. That you always wanted to have this ability. Every class you went to, whatever name you gave it, you wanted to learn to speak English. What happened? Did you learn? Were you successful? When you came here, then I suddenly started talking differently about how to learn English. I said, no, you don't need to understand everything I say. You don't have to go from here fully satisfied that you understand everything I'm teaching. Listening is one experience that will automatically open your minds. Okay. And I went to that far and I said that just keep listening to English and it will be enough. However, I do believe that you guys need to do a lot of grammar exercises, listening exercises, reading exercises, which we do in the course. Okay. So today, the person who is coming, Sivara, she was also a foreign learner of English, but today she speaks English fluently. Okay. Did it take 6 months? Did it take 4 months? Did it take 1 year? She will tell you when you ask. Be ready with all your questions when she comes here. Okay. Because she's an eloquent person. She answers questions beautifully. That's why I decided to call her here. Some people are talented in this way. Learning a language doesn't require a talent, but speaking beautifully requires a talent. Who is the native speaker of Hindi? Modi or Rahul Gandhi? Who is the native speaker of Hindi? Modi or Rahul Gandhi? Rahul Gandhi is a native speaker of Hindi.
Yes.
Modi's native language is Gujarati.
Gujarati.
Right. Who speaks in a way that convinces people, connects with people? Who? Modi. Whether people like him or not, at least they listen to him. Right? They can agree or disagree with him. Political opinions can vary, but they will all agree that he speaks better. Some people say he is a jumlebaj because they cannot discount that he speaks very well. So they call him that he only has glib, he only has dialogues. He doesn't have any intention to help, right? Some people make that accusation, but they indirectly admit that he speaks well. So what does it mean? Speaking well requires talent. Speaking beautifully requires talent. And learning a language is a different thing. You just learn with practice. Okay. Yes, Shahid Afridi and Sabah, you guys were saying something. Go ahead. Shahid and Sabah, you guys were saying something.
The first thing, I never listened to him very carefully. I just listened to him some reels and some.
Okay. Basically, it is listening. Who you listen to is not the matter. What matters is that you're listening, right? You listen automatically. Like, how do I say this?
I
When you
said,
have seen
Narendra,
something,
I
there
just
is an
listen.
impression of it on your eyes, on your mind. The mind, eyes will take the information to your brain. Your ears take the information to your brain. Okay, it takes time before your brain starts to act on that information. But everything you hear, you cannot unhear. What you heard cannot be unheard.
Please.
Whether you listen to me carefully, whether you do the exercise or not, these things do not change what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are students who could not form sentences, right? So what happens when I'm talking about this listening experience, it's all about comprehensible listening input. So when I speak to students in my elementary classes, I make efforts to keep it very simple so that they can understand those basic words, basic arrangements. And the repetition of the same helps them. I don't have to explain how it works. It's easy, everybody knows. When you live in another country for some years, you pick up the language, you start to speak that language, right? So listening helps. For 5 years, you sit in a class learning, and for 5 years, you live in a country where that language is spoken. Obviously, you will learn more when you live in the country where that language is spoken. What do you think, Shahid?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, which part did you disagree with? That you don't listen to me very carefully. Should I be happy with that or unhappy with
Totally right.
that?
Good evening, sir.
I'm
Should I be happy with that statement or unhappy with that statement? How should I take that? As a compliment or as a criticism that you don't listen to me carefully? What did
Good
you
morning,
mean?
sir.
What did you want? Hello, good evening. Yes, Sabah.
Who said that, sir? Listen to him, sir. Narendra Modi. I didn't tell you, sir.
Are you angry that I mentioned Narendra Modi? And that's why you are saying all these things to me? This is what happens when people are
Only
a
saying
little too
bhai or
angry.
bano.
Yes, Sabaji.
Yes, sir. I was only saying bhai or bano. Bhai or
Sorry for my bad network.
All I was saying that it happens sometimes. I don't know. Shahid Afridi said, I don't. Did he say that he doesn't listen to me carefully?
And I don't tell you, sir. I said I never listened to him, Narendra Modi. Then how do I know that
Ah,
he's speaking?
thank God. Yeah, come on, man. That's not the point, whether you need to listen to him carefully. Who said that? My point is,
So I
he
said, then
speaks
how
better
do
than
I
Rahul
know?
Gandhi. Why? There are words that he doesn't pronounce correctly in Hindi. Okay, Rahul Gandhi pronounces them better because it is his native language. So to speak and to speak beautifully are two different things. Nobody teaches you to speak beautifully. One can teach you to speak a language. I can help you learn a language, but I cannot teach you how to speak beautifully. It is a talent you are born with. You can work on this skill, this talent, I mean, and you can improve a little bit as well. Like you are born as a singer, okay? But if you don't practice, then you lose your singing voice. It doesn't really, you do not get to the height of your abilities, right? But with practice, you get there. So my point was, let's take another example. Donald Trump, another person that some people do not like, but I have to give examples for something else. I'm not praising these people here. Please don't misunderstand me. All I'm saying is Donald Trump makes very simple sentences.
Yeah,
His
yeah, sir.
language, his vocabulary is not very wide, but he connects with people. So
I
Sivara, the
listened
lady
to him.
that is coming today, Sivara speaks beautifully, and this is her talent. But she learned English in a certain way, and that was not talent. Okay, everybody can learn that way. There
I
are
watched
lots
it,
of good.
I watched his
Yes, Shahid.
I watched his Donald Trump 2 or 3 long videos, sir, and he speaks very well and very slowly, and he knows
He
how to roast.
intellectuals hate him, Shahid.
Hmm.
Intellectuals hate him because they don't see class in his language. Like Barack Obama, the way he spoke. Okay, there was class in his speaking. People were fond of his intellectual ability. You know, nobody thinks that Mr. Trump is a very intellectual person. My point is, you guys always mix two things. One, you join a class to learn a language, but midway you will start to expect to speak beautifully from that class. You don't realize that the class play a role in making you speak beautifully.
Yeah, I never think that, sir.
Well is another. Hello? Yes. G. STC. Sony's tutorial classes. Right. महिला कॉलेज के पीछे. Right. 5,000. 6-month course, but depends. We need to talk about it a little bit. Explain करना पड़ेगा मुझे. 4 o'clock. Do one thing. Yes, do one thing. WhatsApp me on this number, and when I get free from this class that I'm teaching, I'll get back to you and I will explain things in detail to you. Okay? Fine. Just text me on WhatsApp. Yeah. Fine. So, speaking beautifully, there are some eloquency is a word, okay, or eloquence rather, okay. So, eloquent is an adjective, fluent is an adjective, as you know. So, a class, a group of people, teachers can help you become fluent. They cannot make you eloquent. There is a difference. Eloquence is a personality trait. It's a personal individual quality. People become fluent when they become good at that language, but not everybody becomes eloquent. I am not very eloquent. I'm not eloquent. Like Rahul Gandhi is not very eloquent. When he speaks, he takes lots of pauses. And like this, you know, he does. Okay. And his pauses.
In Hindi also, sir.
Yes. And when he takes those pauses, he will give you a feeling that he's thinking about what to say.
No, that's not me, sir.
Many times, some people take pauses. There was a you know, infamous politician for speaking slowly, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, late Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He spoke so slowly, but nobody would say he was not eloquent. People loved his speeches, but sometimes he would go like, "Aaj is sadan mein." अरे यार, that was his personality. अब कोई उसको बोले कि तुम तेज क्यों नहीं बोलते? You can't change who you are. So first of all, acknowledge your individuality. Sometimes we do not like who we are, and we always look at other people's and have this feeling, inferiority complex, that I want to be like that person. Okay? You can't change who you are. Your voice, your style of speaking is individual to you. Now you like Shah Rukh Khan, so you can so you can mimic him. You don't become him, right? So these are things that one should not forget. And not only with you. I know lots of Indonesians who just don't like Indonesian accent. They hate their own accent. And they want to speak in a different foreign accent. And I know some Indonesians who speak fairly, you know, neutral, with a neutral accent, and with a fairly neutral accent, and people understand them and they feel comfortable with that. But lots of people have an inferiority complex about their accent. They don't like their accent. Unless you, you know, you are at peace with your own personality, your own individuality, you're not going to really improve yourself. First of all, you have to accept who you are and see where you can improve. Don't try to change yourself completely. Don't try to become somebody else. Improvement and changing are different things. Okay. And it sometimes native speakers of a language may not be very good speakers. All of you speak Hindi, don't you, as your first language? Can you all give nice speeches in Hindi? Some of you can. Okay, let's some other qualities. Giving a speech is one quality. Now, Nikhil is very good at doing these things, right? You ask him to address a group of people and he will go, yep, fantastic, very comfortable with that. Now, let's put a group of girls, okay, and ask somebody to talk to them. Then you will see that a certain boy with a certain Pakistani surname is very good at it. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Why don't you tell my name? Don't give me that burden, sir.
So this is personality, right? He cannot become Mukarram. He cannot become Tawfiq. Tawfiq is so quiet, but he's learning English just the same as somebody else. Now, you may have a preference for a certain personality type. You might find that personality type more attractive, more interesting, and you want to be like them. Try, keep trying, okay? But the best thing is to accept who you are and try to take care of your rough edges, that's it. The problems that you have, the things you can improve on, just do them. Let's see. I'm really, really hopeful she turns up today. She talked to me only half an hour ago, and she said that she would be here. If she doesn't come today, by the way, I'm gonna be so annoyed that I won't ever have her here, because yesterday I told you guys she couldn't make it. Half an hour, she said, look, her messages I'm reading. Isn't it in 1 hour? I messaged her at 5:30. I said, yes, because I said 6 p.m. Tuscan time. I said, yes, I'm just trying to be sure. She said, okay, I remember. Okay, so she says that she would be here, and now she has seen, so she's coming. Okay, she's just coming. She's here. Waiting for you. Yes. So guys, feel free to ask any questions and listen to her, what she has to say about how she learned English. Uzbekistan. Tuscan. In Tuscan, she's from the city, Tuscan city.
Sir, how do you know her?
She will tell you everything. Don't worry. You might have misunderstood what I said, but when she comes,
How do you know her?
I meet people on language exchange sites. Okay. I don't meet people on Omegle and yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. What is that? Instagram. I'm not active there. I only care about practicing my language with people. I was just talking to some people in a group, right? When I entered the room, yeah, and I excused myself because I had to teach.
Sahid was thinking about some those sides, sir.
Yeah, your voice is not coming perfectly, bro. Can you please raise up your volume?
Is it fine now?
Yeah, little bit.
Okay, let me check. I don't know. Okay, no problem. I want to speak.
Okay. Go ahead.
Am I audible to all?
Yep. You are.
Thank you.
I am still very sick. Actually, I am sicker than yesterday, guys. You can feel that, no? Yeah, my face, my voice. I'm definitely sicker than yesterday.
Just a simple thing you have to do, sir. Don't drink cold water. No,
I promise
not in normal right now. Just drink
I
warm
promise I
water, sir.
won't take that chance again. No, sorry. I know that was again and again. I forget after
Now
4
you
5
want to
months.
become no, sir. You know this is harmful, and you want to become Shaktiman sometimes. So.
Hope
You're right.
my audio is fine now.
You want
very
to
clear.
be, you want to be Shaktiman, maybe Superman.
Have this feeling that if you are allergic to something and you keep doing it, then your body will develop some sort of resistance to that allergy.
Sir,
But it
I
doesn't
do.
work.
I have Sinex, but I never miss to it dahi and drink cold drink and anything cold stuff. And I know
Yeah.
if I drink or if I eat, it will be not very good for me. But I'm doing that. I don't know when it is. I will. And you know how you said that you have to bath at 4 o'clock, but I go to bed at 3. How can I?
Now,
That's my.
if you don't have a fixed time to go to bed and that too early at night, you're not going to be very healthy.
Yeah, I am not, sir. I know.
I sleep very early in the night, like I woke and I sleep at 8 or maximum at 9.
Oh,
And then I wake up at 6 and I sleep till
you're young. Young people need more sleep. However, if you start doing exercise, things will change. Maybe you need to improve your quality of your sleep. Not only the length of the sleep, quality matters too. Some people sleep only 7 hours, but they feel very fresh because they get very good quality sleep. You need to study about different stages of sleep. When you sleep, what stage you enter first, then second, and then the third. There are three stages of sleep mainly. So if you do not get into the second stage, which is deep sleep, when your body, your mind all relaxes so well, you're not going to feel very fresh waking up. And
So
rapid eye movement.
you know the way of deep sleep.
I think I am suffering nowadays. I'm struggling to have good sleep, deep sleep, because I have changed my lifestyle drastically. I never lived my life the way I'm living now. I used to be such a
I
health conscious person. I used to go to bed on time. Ever since I got married, things changed. I started staying up late and, stopped going to the gym and became physically inactive. Now, do not
but
think dirty.
yeah, but
Yes.
sir, but I never sleep deep, sir. I whenever I go to sleep and keep dreaming, keep something in my mind in the sleep and in every day.
I hear that buffalo milk curd, yogurt made from buffalo milk is very useful, if you're not sleeping well. And there are a couple of other things one can do. Exercise.
No, I
Exercise
exercise.
helps.
I walk 10 kilometer. I run about 3-4 kilometer. I tried all the thing, but whenever I go to sleep, once I sleep, I start dreaming and something in my mind and every
Some people,
whole night.
some people are cursed, Shahid. They are, cursed to be restless souls.
So maybe my ex-girlfriend.
Some people are restless souls. They cannot find rest no matter what they do. Their mind is never at peace. Okay. They're always thinking about something that keeps them awake and active and all these things.
Then I'll try to meet her very soon and I will excuse her, sorry to her. Please forgive me that I'm restless because of you.
Say sorry to her.
I'm
Yeah.
restless too.
But I
So
don't
Apologize.
know which one I have to apologize.
oh,
That's
oh
the
my God.
problem.
This is the real problem you have. I understand now.
Keep going. Like in that film, what was the name? Salman Khan movie, where a boy comes and says, I'm your son. And he starts going to all his girlfriends one by one.
Yeah,
So maybe something similar.
So I hope you maintained a diary, right? To all the names
Yeah,
and numbers so that you can call them
sir, my
and
brain is
ask
very
for your
my
apology.
memory. Sir, bro, Nikhil, I know all my girlfriend.
Okay.
That's Facebook girlfriend, Insta girlfriend, like 2 or 3 day
Oh my
relationship.
God.
Oh my
Facebook
God.
girlfriend, Insta,
I
and
don't,
two
I
and 3 days
don't,
relationship. That is
I don't,
really.
I don't maintain
Where where
diaries,
where do you get this 2 and 3 days relationship?
Yeah, in real, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have a
Are
very
you
short
joking,
relationship.
sir?
I have a short relationship. Only one day. She
One day.
called me at
That is
night.
not relationship.
I
What are you
have
talking about?
I
Okay,
have
you
heard about.
wait. What I'm telling you, that she tell me I love you and everything in
Hello,
whole night.
everybody. Hello. We have our guest here with us. Welcome, Sevara.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey, hello,
Thank you for having
Sevar.
me.
yes,
Hi.
we can hear you loud and clear. No
Classes.
problems.
Oh, great.
Your room is a little dark. We cannot see you very clearly, but we can hear you.
Because I'm actually in a car right now, so maybe therefore.
Okay, you are in your car.
And
Okay,
it's yeah, I'm in a car and it's dark in here.
right. That's fine because I think as long as we can hear you fine, it serves the purpose, right? Yes, it's fine. So, Sevara, welcome to our class, and you are here as a guest. I invited you
Uh-huh.
because I thought you have something to say that can help my students learn and realize how one can learn a language. In India, majority of students do not know anything about language learning. You will find students who are
Mhm.
fluent in English, and they were always fluent, even when they were 10, 11 years of age.
Yeah.
And, they were always fluent. English is like a native language to them. But those people are a minority.
Mhm.
Only 4% of India's population can speak fluent English. Okay. But 25% of India's population
Mhm.
can speak English, but not very well. They try to learn English as a language in their adulthood because the schools that they go to are not very good. They teach them vocabulary, tense, voice, and stuff. You can talk to them, ask them how they learned, how you learned, where did you study as a kid, then how you started your learning, English language journey, and how did you become fluent and everything. So I'll just be here
Mhm.
as a coordinator. Mainly, you can talk to my students today. Students, feel free to talk to
Okay.
her, ask her questions, respond to her questions. I'll be on
Okay.
silence.
So first of all, Okay, so first of all, hi everyone. I'm very glad to be here, and my name is Simara. And I wanted to warn you that I probably have half an hour, but I will try to dedicate all of my time to you. And maybe if today I have like not enough time, but maybe like next time I'll have more. So I'd like to share some tips that I had when I was learning, so that they would help you in your learning. And well, first of all, I think the best advice that was ever given to me about learning the language was thinking in this language. Like you all, I think everyone thinks about something in certain language, right? So for you, it may be like Indian or like Hindi, whatever you call it. And if you try to change this to English, maybe at first it will be very hard because you naturally might kind of turn into your mother tongue. But if you actually put an effort and if you just try to speak all the time to yourself in English, then this will help you a lot because you will just because it's the best way because you can talk to yourself all the time, like the whole day. You don't need a native speaker in order to practice a language because you have yourself all the time. So that's the best advice because after I started to use this tip, I started noticing that my speaking is becoming better and better. So I saw the real results. Um, and other tips would be surrounding your world with this language. By this I mean listening to music in English, searching for the lyrics of the song. Of course, it's interesting for you, because if you don't really enjoy listening to this music, then I think that won't help. But I personally do enjoy listening to music in English, and therefore I found it helpful, because I would search for the lyrics of the song. I would translate it, and I would just know other new words, because when you listen to the song like several times, if it's your favorite song, then you just learn new words and new idioms, like phrases and stuff like that, and I think that can help a lot as well. So another thing is maybe watching some content in English. That can be movies, that can be some videos on YouTube, like something that is actually interesting for you and something that you understand. Because if you see something just because you have to learn, like watch something in English, but you actually not understanding what they're talking about, then that's useless for sure. So you can start from something easy. If it's like, you will actually see the results of using this phrases, or just speaking better. So it can be podcasts, it can be also books if you like it. Of course, it has to be something that you actually enjoy, that you actually would do, not because you have to, but just because you enjoy it. So I think that will make it much easier, like the learning process. So what else? Another thing is, of course, practicing. I was fortunate enough to meet some native speakers. I wouldn't say, no, they were not native speakers, but they were just foreigners who were from Spain, South Korea, and I had to talk to them in English because I didn't know Korean or Spanish. So that was very challenging, especially at first when you try to speak, when you're just learning the language, and you for the first time you try to speak to a foreigner in English. It can be challenging and kind of difficult, but as you kind of interesting, because you get to know a person from another part of the world, and just exchange culture and other things about your hometown, like your home country, and etc. And it's very actually enjoyable to talk to foreigners. So if you do have such opportunity, like if you maybe have them in your in the country where you live, you could I don't know, like somehow get to meet them. You have such resources, and also just talk to each other, because we, for example, had certain clubs, English speaking clubs, where you could come and discuss different themes. It could be also
That's right.
debates, like when there is one theme, and yeah, sure.
Everybody, notice Sevara kept emphasizing two things: something that you enjoy, something that you enjoy. You don't listen to anything that you have to. Enjoy something, you listen to something that you enjoy listening to. You feel like listening, okay? Two, she said something that you understand. So it needs to be something that you enjoy, and it needs to be something that you understand. Find those audio resources, okay? Well, thank you very much about that advice. Now, I would like to ask you a question. How old were you when you first started speaking English, Sevara?
When I first started speaking, or when I first started learning?
No, when you started speaking English.
Speaking, I was about, I think, 14 or 15.
14 or 15.
14, 15,
And
yeah.
at what age did you start learning?
Around 13, I think. Like at 13, I started learning, and at 14, I had to like speak, because I had such opportunity, because I was on a train, and the train was full of tourists. There were like, as I said, people from South Korea and Spain, and it was just very fun to talk to them, because it's always interesting. I don't know, I always wanted to try, and so I did, and I enjoyed it very much.
When you speak English, Do you have those Uzbek language words in your mind when you're forming sentences in English? Do
No,
you,
well, well,
my question was, sometimes my
yeah,
students,
I
they're
got your
speaking,
question. It's like, do they come to my
all of,
mind, right?
now all of a sudden, they will say, what does this word mean in Hindi? Okay. And the problem is that word is not used for its literal meaning. My
Ah,
students need to understand that sometimes there are idiomatic phrases in Hindi and they want translation for them.
mhm. Well, I kind of, it's not Uzbek for me, but it's Russian because it's kind of like my first language, because I studied in like at a school in Russian. So they do come to my mind for sure all the time. Like still to this day, sometimes, for example, when I'm speaking, I want to say one word and I know it in Russian, but I don't remember it in English. So I struggle as well. And I think it happens to any like person who's not a native speaker. So that's fine. And um, I guess like the kind of solution for this problem could be just searching for these words in your vocabulary and trying to memorize it, and just knowing that it is fine and it's not your mother tongue and you don't have to know all of the words. Like uh, you're not on advanced level yet. So but of course there is a way to learn, and it's kind of, it can be a motivation for you to um know even more phrases and words and what they mean.
What was your class like, Sevara? And what kind of class you joined? And how long did you spend there? What was it like? Try and describe that class to us.
Well, when I first started, it was not a class, but it was just my tutor, and she just taught me grammar. um, and it was like for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then I stopped going to these classes, and then I started to go to another tutor who was much better, and it was just grammar. Like I didn't speak in practice. But when we have such a thing as lyceum. It's like after you graduate from school, you go to either college or lyceum. So I went to lyceum, and it was one of the best in the town, and my teacher was such an amazing person. Like she was the strongest probably of all of my teachers, and she actually taught me how to speak, because we had to, like, she gave us certain tests where we had to discuss something. She would give us a theme and we would have to, like, create some sentences and just talk about it out loud. It was the first time, like, kind of when I probably tried it, like speaking. And she also, I found her very helpful. She gave us such tasks as just memorizing a very huge text. It would be like, maybe, I don't know, like 20 sentences, whatever. It was actually huge, but it was very easy. So I would memorize it by heart, like a poem, and then I would tell it to her like just like a poem, but it was not, but it was actually text about like sports or hobby or whatever. And I first thought like, why would I even learn it? But then when I actually was trying to learn it, what I did was text on my phone. And for, I don't know about Android, but iPhone has such a like feature when you can actually pronunciate what is written. So I would memorize it by listening to the pronunciation of every sentence, and that was very helpful because I would know how to correctly pronunciate it first, and then all of these phrases that were used in this text, I would actually use it in my life, not even thinking about it. They would just come out of my mouth. So just like she said it will be actually very helpful. And then after this teacher, I went to a group. It was like learning center, and we would study like 6 or 7 people. Um, and it was kind of a preparation for IELTS, I would say, because at this point I already kind of learned the language very well because of these teachers and because I would practice a lot, because I actually did want to get to this level. And that's why it was just IELTS and like listening, reading, speaking, and what else, and writing. So, and I studied for about like 4 months, I think. And it was also very helpful because it was very interesting. Like it would be like a game, you know, because she would kind of make us compete between each other. That's why it was exciting to be in this group and to win. So and she also taught us some, for example, it's very specific. I wouldn't really talk much about it because I think it's not your major. Like you're not teaching them IELTS, right? But I mean, she taught us a lot of things, and she helped me too. The reason why I'm kind of fluent is because I actually I was passionate about it because I really wanted to talk as a native speaker. So that's why I would watch a lot of content, I would listen to music, I would actually speak to people, and I would write to people through some apps like Interpols and Tandem and etc. So because I cared about it a lot, I actually kind of got into this level. But I think the teacher can kind of guide you through this process, but he will not be he cannot be the reason why you speak well. Like he can be just one of the reasons, but you know what is more important is your will and desire.
Okay, point. Interjection again. Guys, did you notice that every time she talked about her practice, she talked about listening practice? Now, notice she says podcast, music, content, movies, stuff, you know. Basically, she's talking about only. Why? Because input, that is what teaches you. Now, my question, Sevara, for you is, how often do you speak English? And how
Well,
long? Yes.
you know, like for how long, right? Well, when I was studying by the way, I have to tell you also one major fact. I studied in institute in English, like everything was in English, all of the subjects, like in English, and we would pass exams in English. Everything was. I think that is another factor why probably like it has
A
gotten better.
monolingual class.
So when I was studying, I would what?
A monolingual class. It was a monolingual class. Everything was in English.
No, it's not. It's not monolingual class, but it's actually, it was foreign institute where all of the studies they would be in English. It was like Institute of Singapore. So like you know, like we would, everything was in English, like not because the students were from different nations, but because it was a foreign institute. So as I return to the question, when I was studying in the institute, I would speak a lot with my class, like group mates, and with the teacher. So it would be like maybe 50% of my speaking would be in English because I would spend a lot of time like studying and being in the institute. And after I graduated, my job is not connected with English at all. Like it's a Russian company and we don't have to use English. And that's why I kind of started worrying about my level, because like I was thinking if I'm not practicing, then I will just lose all of the skills that I have. So therefore I started to visit this so-called parties in Tandem, and I would talk to different people and discuss different things. Like, you know, when I had time. And nowadays it happens like the same. I try to every now and then. It can be like twice a week, it can be sometimes once a month. It depends, because sometimes you just don't have time for it because you have some other responsibilities. It's always different, you know. But I try to speak. But what I do all the time, I would say every day, is still I watch content in English, not because I have to, but because I like it, because I kind of got used to it.
Do you remember that guy who was with us at the party, the Indian guy who was speaking English in the not a very nice way? And do you remember his excuses?
Not really.
He
I
was
don't
there.
remember them, to be honest.
Okay. He was there at the party. He'd been there for almost an hour or so. And when I started to highlight his mistakes, he said he doesn't have time to work on those mistakes. He doesn't have time to learn English. then what was he doing
Mm.
speaking? So a lot of Indians think that if they want to improve their speaking skills, they just need to speak in English. Our teachers also say the same thing. If you want to speak better, start speaking. Nobody emphasizes the importance of listening, the input methods. What do you have to say on that?
Yeah.
Does input matter?
Well, yeah, I absolutely agree with you. It's like, you don't, by doing something more often doesn't mean that you will actually excel your level and make it better. You actually have to put an effort and listen to the way they speak and try to
Imitate them.
it will not work. Like, you just have to kind of, be more attentive to the way they speak, how they use certain phrases, and how they make up sentences. And you just need to try to change your attitude towards learning, because by just speaking more often, you will not change your pronunciation. And also, I would say what helped me a lot is just when you see the text, let's say, and you need to kind of I don't know, talk about something, you actually need to see those words in your vocabulary and see how they are pronounced. You need to try to imitate this pronunciation, because if you don't do this, then it will not be like, your speaking level will not get better. So I absolutely agree.
Thank you.
Sir, I
Thank
have a
you.
question, sir.
Yes, Faizan.
Uh, uh, Sir, I have two questions actually. First is that, sir, can you explain uh, mm, in some sentences the two situation when I listening a song or broadcast, should I repeat it or just listen only?
Well, I think it depends. For example, if you want to listen, uh, it for example, when you're just starting, I think it's better just to listen and try to understand what they're talking about, trying to understand the context of of their talk. And then maybe you should try to um, discuss this theme in your head or with someone. Like, let's say you have your group mate and he's your friend, and so you say, so you know what, I listened to this podcast yesterday and it was like this thing, so I think that, and you like talk about what you think about this podcast. So you actually discuss this problem that was discussed in this podcast. And I think while you're listening, you just try to be very attentive to what they're talking about, trying to understand the topic, and just yeah, and then after you can discuss it with your friend or just talk to yourself about it, like any way that
Okay.
is convenient for you.
I don't have any problem to understand English.
Faizan, one point. Faizan, one point. Sevara did mention that while you're listening, pay attention to how they're using the words, phrases, okay, how they're arranging their words in the sentences, pattern, sentence pattern. Observe these things while listening. That's what she said you should do. Okay, now carry on, Faizan.
That's why, sir, I'm asking what is the right way to listening. When I start a Netflix series in English, like a Korean series, then, sir, it is in English. But, sir, when I started, I listening carefully and I understand all the sentence. But, sir, one episode passed and another so on. But, sir, I don't understand. I how to I practice that, because, sir, I listening carefully, I watch the movie a series and I understand all the sentence and I understand all the situation about that film. But, sir, I don't get improvement on my English. Then that's why, sir, I asking to her why
Stop.
on.
Hello, wait. I think Sevara, I will answer this question before Sevara does. Okay. You
I know,
guys
sir.
have a
Yeah.
psychological problem here. Okay. You
Okay.
thought of yourself, let's have an analogy. Okay. You think of yourself as a poor person and you look at somebody who's very rich. Okay. Now you are much better than when you started your business. Okay. You are much richer, but because you haven't reached that millionaire or billionaires level, you are not happy with your improvement. That's nonsense. That's not very smart. You see, Faizan, if you have any recordings of your earlier lessons, okay, where you spoke, and I'm pretty sure we have some, okay, in our group, you might have sent me some audio recording or something. Listen to yourself. You are putting all the words in the correct order now. Now you need to work on the form of the words. Earlier, you could not put the words together in the right order, and you're saying you're not improving. The problem is, you guys want to become like a native speaker of English in very little time. So,
Quick
okay,
learner.
Sevara, why don't you address this problem? There are lots of institutes, Sevara, which promise fluency in 4 months and 6 months, and three months, 90 days. What do you think of those people? If a student is not capable of putting words together orally, they cannot put words together to form a meaningful sentence. Can they learn to speak fluently in 3 months, 4 months, 6 months? How many people can do that?
So I think there maybe if it's some genius person. Well, first I would like to answer to a question of Firas, or I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. So
Faizan.
well, I
It's
understand your
Faizan.
problem. Oh, Faizan, yeah, okay. So I understand your problem, and I think maybe you should write these words that are not understandable for you. Maybe if you just listen to this, then this will not help. Or if you just watch it, you actually need to try to discuss it. You need to try to learn a lesson from what you listen to. So by just consuming, it will not give any results to you. So that's why I think it's important to maybe write down some new phrases that you have learned, or maybe practice by discussing this film or whatever. And as for the question that
Sevara, just one
teacher,
small interjection.
so I
Sevara,
think by Vinay, yeah.
Sevara, is it time for you to leave? Because I know you said half an hour. It's 7 o'clock.
I have like 5 minutes.
Okay, fine. Sevara, how many newspapers do you have in English where you live?
I don't have any, but I was when I was just studying, I would follow New York Times and I would read New York Times because I thought they have such an amazing articles. So that's why but to be honest, I didn't I would not read a lot of them because I kind of like to consume information in a different way, not by reading, but just by watching, or different way. But if
My
there are
purpose was something
many
else,
people
Sevara. My
around
purpose
you,
was something else.
yeah.
My purpose was something else. Actually, Sevara, I want to tell you that Indians are exposed to English all the time. The problem with the students I have, and majority of these students who have become adults, and they know lots of English words, their translation in their mother tongue, but they can't use those words, okay? So their problem is not the vocabulary, although they keep saying that their vocabulary is poor, they're not comfortable with the uses of the words, okay? So how do you learn the uses? Not by writing the... That thing might work when you're learning English as a foreign language, because I need to do that for Italian and Spanish, write down. But in India, English is a second language. It's an official language here. So we have plenty of English words around. Actually, everything you're saying, all the words you used, all the words I'm using, these students are very, very familiar with these words. Their problem is not the vocabulary. Their problem is they just translate their words in English into Hindi literally and Hindi words into English literally. They do not acknowledge that they are two different languages and they function independently. They have their own independent grammar.
Yeah, well, that's a huge mistake because the first advice that I gave you is thinking in English. So if you start thinking in English and forget about your mother tongue, I think this will help you because you will try to create sentences in English, not translating them, but actually creating in another language. So that's why I think that the only thing that is needed is your will and desire to actually do something about it and put an effort. Because just by здесь можете остановить, пожалуйста? Что-то мы туда
Small
приехали.
point.
Спасибо.
Sivara said a couple of
Yeah.
times. Guys, what's the recording? Do you have to go now? I'm worried about you.
No,
you know.
no, I have time. I have time. I will tell you when I
Okay,
have
so
to
I
go.
have. All right, fine. So Sivara, you used a lot of times, 4 or 5 times. You said, "I would do this, I would do that" when you were talking about your school. Okay, so guys, did you notice she said "would" again and again? She said, "I would do this, I would do that, I would write. My teacher would give me lots of homework, huge homework." Okay, but very easy homework. Okay, so she used would again and again. Do you guys notice these things when people speak? Do you pay attention to such things? That how they are forming their sentences, which words they're using. I know Sivara speaks fast for your liking. I know. Sivara, you are too fast for them. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
No,
will try to speak
Okay.
like
Okay, Sivara,
slowly.
if you do not mind, can you tell us how old you are? Because again, we are not asking a personal question. We are just trying to understand your language learning journey. How old are you?
I'm 24.
She's 24.
I'm 24.
Okay, so
I have a question, sir.
Yeah, 11 years is
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry, but I have to go now. But I will try to, if you're interested, I can make some, like, maybe I will find another time in a week, and we'll try to talk to you again. So it was my pleasure to share this experience with you, and maybe I will try to answer to your questions and like have another class with you in another like time. Okay? So I'm sorry.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Sivara, for
Thank
finding
you.
time to come
If you can
with us.
hold
It
two
was really
minutes, I
nice
have a
listening to you.
question.
Yes, Shahid,
Okay,
she
thank
has to
you.
go.
Goodbye.
Okay,
Bye-bye,
now
I will
Sivara.
try to
See
answer.
you. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Yes, in the
by the
next
way,
class.
Vinay, if she maybe if they have questions, they can write it down, and I will just in case I don't have time like tomorrow, then I will try to write the answer if it's convenient. Okay.
Maybe record an answer and I will play it here.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Okay, Sivara. Thank you very much for
Okay, it was my
honoring us with
pleasure.
your presence here. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Bye. Mhm.
Bye-bye. Okay, Shahid. So what was the question you wanted to ask him?
sir, my question is that okay if I'm listening any audio or watching anything and I'm not using anywhere? So will that help?
Okay, everybody listen. There are fast ways of doing something. There are slow ways of doing something. There are ways you can do something and get fast results. And there are ways you can do something and you will get slow results. Okay. So when you put in more efforts, okay, when you make more efforts, of course, you are going to get more results. So a lot of people listen very, peacefully. They don't really care much about what they're noticing. And some people engage very much in the listening. They silent. Okay, you don't need anybody. Stop giving that excuse that you need somebody to talk to
That
you. You can talk to yourself in your head. Okay, all you
I know,
want.
sir.
Okay, so while you're listening, pay attention to the words they use. Catch those words. Catch those words. Okay,
Sir,
everything. You have to
but I'm
study all these
saying
things.
that, but I'm saying,
You have to learn everything. Yes, go ahead.
but I'm
Shahid.
not saying that. I said that if I listen and I watched anything somewhere, or I'm not using here because that there is here that we don't discuss that topic. And when
Yeah,
I
I
come to speak that time, just that topic, it automatically come from my mouth, sir, that I'm
Yeah.
using that topic.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm saying that if I'm not using here
Mhm.
whatever I watched or listened, so that will
Mhm.
help in somewhere, na?
She said she speaks English once a month, twice a week.
Yes.
That's her frequency of
And
speaking.
I realize, sir, I know I when
Isn't that enough to debunk that you don't need to? She said, if you do the same thing again and again, you don't become better at it unless you observe.
Yes, you're right.
You keep repeating your actions, you're not getting better. So, if anything, you get more addicted to making those mistakes, more habituated to making those mistakes.
So
Like
to
you
be
will find
honest,
some of
I'm saying my just true story that I never studied English anywhere, not grammar, nothing else. I was not
Mhm.
able to any form of sentence, but I
You know
listen.
what,
I learned
Shahid,
some English. Yeah,
Shahid, your nephew or your cousin, Adib?
yeah, cause he's my cousin, sir.
Oh my goodness. Today I asked him to read the book and he struggled big time. Okay. And that was such a surprise because Adib speaks English better than anybody else in that class. And I never, it means you guys have an ability to pick up oral language. Some people have a talent, they quickly pick up the language. They have the ears for the language. Okay. That's what they say. They listen to something and automatically learn it very easily. So, Shahid Afridi, you are just one of those people who just listen to a language and learn easily. My mom, she's very good at learning languages. You see, she never went to school up after class 3 and 4, and now she understands a lot of English when we talk, in the house, in the family. I say something to my wife in English, I say something to my daughter, she understands what I'm saying. So some people have this ability to pick up the language orally. They listen and they understand, because
Yeah, I
Adib
learn.
reading. He could not read sentences correctly. He is much, much better when it comes to speaking. I was surprised. So that is in your family, that runs in your family, Shahid.
Sorry to interrupt, sir, but I apologize. I
Speak
need to drop
nowadays.
off.
So
You have to
I
leave.
learned from.
Sorry, sir.
Do you want to leave? Do you have to leave?
Yeah, yeah, I have to drop off. Yes. Yeah,
I
Sure.
thank you.
I'll say.
Yeah, it was nice to have
I
her here.
I nothing
Nice
learn
to.
in school, institute, and anywhere because I don't have any I didn't have any English class before this. So I learn English face from Facebook, YouTube, and any movies. So I don't know. I was very bad student, sir. I am not a good student. I don't know. But
Yes, Shahid.
when I
Language
knew
learning
about
has
you that
nothing to do with all those qualities that people ask you to have. They say you need to be intelligent, you need to be a good student. Come on. You don't need to be all these things. You don't need to have any of these qualities. You can learn a language. Learning a language is a natural, thing for human beings. Okay. And some people have a special talent for learning languages. They can speak 15, 16 languages, while others struggle to learn 3, 4 languages. Some people can't learn a second language. Forget about 3, 4. They keep speaking just one language all their lives.
So I
because
want to
yeah,
ask
I
you.
didn't ask the question to her because she's speaking very fast. I don't want to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt
They
her.
didn't.
Child.
Yes, yes.
Sir, means her language tone was very different from all of us, sir.
Because you are from India, she was from Uzbekistan.
That's what I
And she also listened to a lot of English from native speakers, so accents change.
listening can impact your
Listening,
tone
okay,
too.
then what did I
You
do
can
to
change
change
your
my
accent, bro,
accent?
if you want to.
Okay,
You
okay,
can
this is
change
such
your
a question. I don't understand where is your own common sense, guys. Somebody from your family who lives in a village but goes and works in Delhi for 2 years and comes here and speaks like
Speak
Delhi
totally
people.
differently. Yeah.
Like Delhi people. What happened there? He got an opportunity to listen to the way Delhi people speak. He picked up that. So when you listen to native speakers, your accent changes. And all the people, these are common things, and I have to explain this to them, obvious things. Why do I have to? All of you want to improve your accent, all of you want to improve your pronunciation, and you run away from listening. So you think there will be a special jari booty, right? A magic potion that will improve your pronunciation, because there is only one way. You gotta listen to native speakers,
I find
notice the way they say it, imitate them. Okay.
I find my own accent very hard, sir.
Yes,
I
it is.
try
It
to
is. It
smoothen
is.
them.
It is because you spent very little time listening. You have learned listening to me, and you don't spend a lot of time listening to. She says 50% of her time, 50% of her time. Okay, she spent practicing, staying in touch with English. So 12 hours, 9 hours.
when I was in hostel and when I first joined HTC, so I have lots of time, and right now I have also time, sir. So that time when I was in joined, so I watched the recording 2 or 3 times. I downloaded videos, and I was very curious about to know all the things I search online. But uh, when I were in when I was in unit 12, that curiosity, curiosity, what I say, curiosity and curiosity, and yes, suddenly they all have gone, sir. I was somewhere else, and this and right, still I'm not very well. I just miss my old things, Yeah,
Passion.
but and these days I'm very busy and I'm very in. How can I say
One
that?
way to find
I'm
passion
in
is
very tense, sir.
find a person who speaks this language and try to date them. You know, try to date a
How
person
can
who
how
speaks
can
the
how
language
can
you're
I how
learning.
can I how can I find, sir?
Next
Huh?
Suggest me then.
Next
You
time,
guys,
you ask to her.
oh, if it is difficult at this age, then do you think it is going to be easy at 43? Come on. If I were your age, I would take that challenge easily. Okay. Within 15 days, sir, I will have an English girlfriend. I will have an American girlfriend or
Okay,
any foreign
sir. Okay, not
who will
English
speak.
and not foreigner, but I will manage to talk with the Indian girls and I will try to get in relationship with her, sir.
No, 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 no. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying,
Sir,
find somebody you enjoy talking
sir,
to,
I
enjoy listening
realized,
to. Yes.
sir, I listening to after listen to her, I realized that
Listening to her, after listening to
listening to
her,
her, yeah, listening to
after
her,
listening.
I realized, sir, when the the way of learning that I am doing right now is wrong, sir, because I think you always said listen music, and I listen to music, listening to music, but music or listening to audio file daily before I go to bed. But sir, I can't pause and repeat. Okay, I don't give lots of time. Only one sentence, and I understand the sentence, then I feel okay, I understand, then mm, uh, uh,
हाँ,
let's
फिर
go,
लगना
okay, and I go to another.
Faizan, चरखा में पिन लगना, सुई में धागा लगना. That is exactly what has happened. I'm so happy to hear Faizan right now. Because he is
Yeah,
going sentence after sentence, sentence after sentence. I can't tell you how shocked I was only 2, 3 months ago when that elementary class 8 o'clock batch finished in the morning, and you
yeah,
insisted that you wanted to be in the new elementary class through 2, 3 months ago.
yeah,
And in
yes.
these 2, 3 months, I can see all the changes. Lovely, well done. And this is what happens. It's not that changes came here. Like I've always said, when the plant comes out of the land, it doesn't mean that day the progress happened, the growth happened. The
And
growth
sir,
was constant.
I want to say something, sir. Now I decided right now, when I listening any person, and when I
When I'm
listening
listening, मैं
to,
सुन रहा हूँ.
when I
Uh,
when I
when I'm listening.
when I am listening, I decided to, sir, I paused and I repeat this sentence until uh, uh, when I
Until I
speak
get it right.
very
Until I get it right. Until I get it right. Until I
yeah,
get it right.
yeah. I don't let it go before I get it right.
Repeat.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Good, Faisal. All motivation. Good. Remember, whether you do
Sir,
that, you only listen. Yes,
I
Sabah.
want to say something.
Yes, Sabah.
Sir, I was facing difficulties as a Shahid. Uh, I think if Vinay sir teach me in my school time, maybe I ask
There is
fluently.
no there is no point in brewing over the past. Okay. अभी मैंने कौन सा phrase use कर दिया?
Going over the past.
ये अभी देखो, ये मुंह से निकला, मैंने कब बोला था आखिरी बार, कभी याद है? नहीं ना. तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट, इसीलिए लोग नेटिव स्पीकर से सीखना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि उनके मुंह से नए नए वर्ड्स आते रहते हैं और आपको ऐसे कॉन्टेक्स्ट में आते हैं कि वहां पर सही सेंस बने. आई सेड देयर इज नो पॉइंट इन रोइंग ओवर द पास्ट. जो पास्ट निकल गया उसके पीछे अब कोई फायदा नहीं है. टेक द प्रेजेंट इन योर कंट्रोल, ओके, एंड वर्क ऑन इट. सबा जी.
Sir,
सबसे
there
बड़ी
are lots of difference in a student mind and a mother mind. There are lots of difference,
ना
sir.
ना समझ listen to me listen to me
So I
listen to
am
me
saying.
listen to me please. You know I'm your well-wisher, okay? And I'm your teacher. I will be the happiest when you speak better English. But I have to tell you what exactly you're going, where you exactly you're going wrong, okay? द्रोणाचार्य said, क्या देख रहे हो? Somebody said trees, somebody said leaves, one said the eye of the fish. Oh, sorry, the eye of the bird. Okay. So when I teach, okay, first of all, there is one concept that I'm working on. So that is the eye of the bird. Focus on that particular part. What you really need to do? Baki listening to ho hi rahi aur improve ho hi rahe. Concept jab aap fail karte ho na, that's when I feel nervous and I know it's going to be very, very slow for you. Concept mat miss karo. अभी मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ, एलिमेंट्री में ये बात नहीं बोलता. जब सबाजी पहली दफा एलिमेंट्री कर रही थी, मैंने कभी नहीं बोला, क्योंकि मैं तो उस समय सिर्फ अभी आपको लिसनिंग एक्सपोजर दे रहा हूँ, आदत तो बन जाए लिसनिंग की. सेकेंड टाइम में मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ, बिकॉज मुझे पता है अब आपकी आदत बन चुकी है इंग्लिश सुनने की. पे अटेंशन ऑन व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन. ठीक है? जैसे जब भी कोई कॉन्सेप्ट बताऊंगा ना, तो उसको ना पूरा अच्छे से अपने आप से पूछो कि सर ने ये बताया ना, ऐसे करना है. मेरे एग्जाम्पल्स को रिपीट करो दिमाग में और उसके बारे में सोचो कि हम ये मदर टंग में कैसे बोलेंगे. पॉइंट ये है, सभा जी सही बात बोल रही हैं, सबका अपना अपना दिमाग होता है. सभा जी एक ऐसे एज में सीखने की कोशिश कर रही है विच इज नॉट वेरी नॉर्मल. Okay, she is 30 plus, okay, and she's here with a responsibility of 3 sons, a job, a husband, so finding time, finding passion, it's not gonna be the same as some of you guys. So I understand, but my complaint is, जो मेरा complaint है वो ये है, while you are in the class, आप चुप रह के ना करें. क्यों मैं बताता हूँ चुप रह के, मैंने पहले भी कहा है, क्योंकि आप गलत समझ रही हैं बातों को और उसको कंफर्मेशन करते जा रही हैं. मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ ये इसलिए होता है बिकॉज आई डोंट स्पीक हिंदी इन दिस क्लास टू एक्सप्लेन थिंग्स. Or in the elementary class, second time she was doing, I was speaking English. So sometimes you misunderstand what I'm saying, and that stays in your mind. So my examples will be the best thing for some of you. Okay, my examples, whatever examples I give, your friends give. Like for example, the other day we were talking about something. Stop doing something.
Yep.
Right. What happened, Sabaji? Please explain. Okay, please explain. There were 5-6 guys before you, students. They made maybe 8-9 examples before you, and then you said something, and there wasn't the word try there. Try word था ही नहीं. क्या हुआ था उस दिन?
सर मेरा बेटा मेरे बगल में बैठ गया था, बोला था कि होमवर्क कराइए, इसका माना बताइए, इसका स्पेलिंग क्या होगा. मेरा सारा माइंड डाइवर्ट हो गया.
तो जो जाहिर सी बात है, जो हुआ एकदम नेचुरल था ना, क्योंकि she
जाहिर
lost
सर,
her.
जाहिर सर.
क्लियर है ना? मैंने यही कहा है कि she needs to be more focused in the class. Yes,
सर
Sabaji, आपकी कोई गलती
जाहिर सर, नॉट जाहिर.
जाहिर ना, जाहिर,
हाँ, यू से जाहिर.
जाहिर सी बात है.
जाहिर.
जाहिर.
हाँ, ये यस.
I'm sorry. जाहिर सी बात है.
Yeah, that word too.
जाहिर,
Zahar.
जाहिर सी बात है.
Zahar or Zahir.
Yes, Mukarram?
I said just repeat Zahar and then repeat Zahir.
जरा, जाहिर,
जहर सर, जहर.
Zahar and
Zahir.
Zahir.
जाहिर,
And now repeat.
जाहिर,
Yeah. Right, fine
जाहिर,
now.
जाहिर. Oh, now it is correct. Zahir.
Yeah, you were saying Jahir.
Okay, Zahir.
There is
Zahir.
za sir, not ja.
Z.
Yeah.
जहाज
Zahir.
जहाज जहर
Jahaz.
जहाज.
Yeah.
Jahir.
All right. Look,
Jahir सी बात.
I am ready to work on my weaknesses. You guys should also do the same. And Sabaji, now that you explained what actually happened, has put me very much at ease. Okay, because you were not listening, of course you couldn't learn, right? Yes. And when I called out your name, you had to say something, because sometimes, no matter what age you are, when you are in the class, you feel the pressure a little bit. So you couldn't say, sir, I'm sorry, I can't give an example because I have not been listening. She had this option. that I'm sorry, I've been
Sir,
like,
I
you know,
personally believe is, sir, no matter you are busy, you're very busy, but you can find sometimes a 2 hour, and if you are attending class,
Shahid, Shahid, you are being insensitive. You are being insensitive. A woman who has three sons, a husband to look after, and you know how it is in Indian families. Everything is on the woman to do it, the mother, the
sir, but
washing, the
I
cooking.
know about women, sir. They gossip 3 or 4 hours without any purpose, sir.
It doesn't matter how many
Not
hours
all,
she has
not
left.
all women doing like that.
Bro,
Again,
yeah.
everybody needs to unwind
If
themselves.
she
Everybody
had
needs
been
to
doing
unwind.
gossip 4 and 3 hours, she would be not here, Shahid. She will be somewhere
Everybody
else.
that doesn't make a sense at all, sir.
Mhm,
She is a mother, she has to do a lot of work and
yeah, exactly. And she's doing it. She's
yes,
trying.
she's doing it.
Okay. Just I told her a
And
few
she's
things.
not doing anything else.
She's a working woman. She's not housewife.
Yeah,
Yes,
How can
she has a job as well.
doesn't make
Oh,
a sense.
okay. She has. Oh, bro. Now it makes sense. She has a job, and I didn't know before.
Okay. Now you understand. This is good when people realize the problem. Okay. Shahid thought that she was just a stay-at-home mother. Okay. But now. So, Rukaiya, convince your mother to join the lesson from home at night. Okay. Okay. Tell your mom about Sabaji. Okay. And Rukaiya, you unmuted yourself now. Late. Is the internet slow? We can't hear you. Anyways, so guys, I hope you benefited from her, communication with you, her interaction with you. Yes. And remember, you guys don't need to worry about your speaking. You need to worry about your listening and thinking. You need to do things with yourself, which is not very exciting. It's more exciting to sit in a group of 4 or 5 people and have arguments.
Yes.
No, it becomes part of your personality, things you keep doing. Here in India, speaking English is always about having arguments. They will check your English by putting you in a group discussion class.
Yes, and I don't like that, sir. There's a guy in my village. He came two days before, and he said that my teacher will give you a topic, and I'm like, I will not argument in. Sir, if I know something,
Yeah,
I
I
will be
think
put on
I
that.
would
Sir, I don't make false sentences. This is not my thing. That I will say that confidence is good in practice. What I know, I will say that. But no, you have to argument all the time. There's a topic, you have to choose one. I will not choose one. Yeah.
There is
And there
this
I
guy.
can't learn English, sir. This is not my personality that I'm saying.
Well, first of all, understand spoken English, teaching spoken English is not a reliable career option. It's a pastime thing. In most cities, towns, teachers who are teaching spoken English are not very sincere about that career. This is a pastime career for them, temporary career. They are preparing for some other things while they are not getting there, they are just trying to earn some money. There is this guy I met on Facebook. Okay. He charges 3,000 rupees for a 3-month course, 1,000 rupees per month. Okay. And in 3 months, his classes are over.
Bro, you are an
Okay, that guy wrote something. I like that guy because he was very young, very energetic. So one day we had a chat, or actually call on Messenger, and I told him that he's doing fine. But I said, what about after the 3 months course is over? Then my job is to make them feel confident. I said, okay. I thought you were an English teacher. He said, no, I'm not an English teacher. Although he calls his institute a spoken English institute, but he doesn't want to accept that he's an English language teacher. All right, fair enough. You don't want to
Sir,
get there because
if I get a chance to study in that class where you can debate or argument, I will not. I won't stay there, sir, very long. You know, because you have to choose one, and how can I choose one? Money can buy happiness, and you have to just give your money to that. This can, that can. I can't do that, sir.
there are people who can look at all aspects. They never choose a side.
Yeah, I
This is
don't stay with a side.
the biggest criticism of intellectuals, that because they can't choose a side, they are inactive. Intellectuals are inactive. When you choose a side, you do something, you make a change to the world. So there is criticism to intellectuals, that intellectuals do not change the world because they cannot make up their mind. Pseudo intellectuals take a side. Real intellectuals can never take a side on anything. They will always say there are two sides. You look at it this way, look at the other side this way, compare, see there are some benefits of this side, there are some benefits of this side. Sometimes they say because there are more benefits, we should go with this. That's it. But they will not say this is the best thing to do type of attitude they won't have. So yeah, fine. And I'm glad that she saved me from speaking for half an hour because I'm really tired.
Now
Yeah, okay.
My head is hurting, back part of my head. It's like it's gonna explode.
Yeah, the time, yeah, it's 7:30, so
Before I
it's
came to
going
the
to.
class, what I did, I put that green thing, into the water, carpole, and put it in the water and covered myself with a towel and took the steam through my
Sir, you
nostrils.
don't
Okay,
have to do anything extra, sir. You just drink warm water and that will help, sir. In every night, in every day, every time.
all the time.
So
Yes.
yeah, if you are having this problem and if you are going through this, so you can uh, until you
So,
get.
okay, everybody, from today on, start spending more time listening to English, okay? Thinking in English. You don't need anybody to talk to. They are not good excuses anymore. This is an excuse for those who do not really
Sir, she
understand the
said
process
that
of
she
language.
she said she said you have to think in English, and I'm doing all the time, sir. Whatever that I have to kill someone, I have to beat
Learn
someone.
new phrases, learn new phrases, learn new phrases, learn new expressions, learn how they're used, in what kind of context. Observe these things. Learn means
I'm
observe.
doing
Okay.
since I joined, sir. Whatever I always think in Hindi and everything, thinking about my girlfriend and everything else. So my thinking power is good.
I'm gonna say
I
goodbye to
can
you
I
all.
can assume I'm I can assume
Mhm.
anything in my thinking.
Sabaji, Sabaji, Sabaji,
Yes, sir.
do you sometimes get that feeling that मैं आपको बोलने ही दे देता हूँ, कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है क्या आपको?
What, sir?
Do you sometimes feel that मैं आपको बोलने नहीं देता? I don't let you speak because I sometimes get that feeling that Sabaji wanted to say something and I kind of stopped her midway. Spend your time listening to the audio files, elementary audio files. Okay, elementary audio files. Don't worry about the pre-intermediate course. You know that I'm going to give you a revision for this course. Okay, so
Yep.
basically revise your elementary course, listen to what I teach here. Okay, if you can do the homework, great. Otherwise, don't worry. But do listen to the elementary audio files. Okay, and
Did you
everybody
send
else.
5 books, sir?
The books, I think I sent to my nephew. I don't know whether he has posted them, but if he hasn't, then I'm definitely going to post them tomorrow. Okay,
Okay, sir.
bye. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Take your lesson.